Okay. Sorry for the delay. I am in the vernacular, very late and breaded. Okay. That's how far we are with the braid so far. And even up these pairs a little bit. And outside to in, outside to in, outside to in, outside to in, out to in, and out to in. Color parity is matching, so I didn't screw up on that. And then left to right, and right to left. And pull it snug. Hey, Braiding, nice to see you on. Been a while. I'm mostly recovered from COVID. I'm just a little bit of a sore throat that hopefully will continue to fade. Let's drop some of these tama here. So my voice may be a little bit off, and I may occasionally mute so I can blow my nose, but alrighty. So how's life been treating you? And out to in, 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 and out to in. And left to right, and right to left. And pull it snug. Ouch, sorry to hear that. I can definitely appreciate not feeling well. Hopefully things will improve for you rapidly. Today I had to give up my potential dream of becoming a magisterial district judge. The judge I am working for is indeed retiring, but apparently there are several people who are running for his his soon-to-be old position, and if I ran and did not win, that would pretty much be the end of me as a constable, because the judge I would have run against likely would not be continuing to use me in his office. And I'm not quite ready to give up being a constable yet. I still have 4 years in my current term, and I will probably run for another one. I might go ahead and decide to, next time the judge position is up, run for it regardless of who's in there. But I also have to pass a magisterial district school, magisterial district judge school in Pennsylvania to be able to actually serve as a judge, which is like an 8-week advanced packing law course. Glad to hear you're getting better. And yeah, I can see the chat, but I have to look over to see it. I have started setting up for Ian Runkle's braid. I'm doing those as supporter-only streams on locals, because the room I'm setting it up in is somewhat messy, and I'm suffering from a near-terminal case of embarrassment over it. And the only way I can really deal with that is to essentially limit the audience. I know my audience isn't that big anyway, but at least this way people who are really interested in seeing how I set up the takadai can. And it's not like I set my locals supporter numbers are ridiculously high. It's like $2 a month. And I'm going to try and get all of the setup done this month. I'm not working overtime at my day job this Saturday, so I should be able to get probably a good 5 or 6 hours this weekend setup time, which would get me at least a third of the way there. It's a 76 tama braid, and I currently have 6 set up, and that took me about an hour. I'm hoping to increase the speed. We'll see how well I can do on that. But I'll be starting that stream shortly after I finish this one up tonight. And okay, well, no worries. If you want to watch it, great. If not, that's fine too. Let's see. I'm also considering getting my dad another 3D printer. The one I got him wasn't an Ender 3 Pro. It was just a plain old Ender 3, and I am not impressed with the build quality. And since I'm going to have to be providing tech support for my dad, and he's having more issues with that these days, I figured it'd be nice to get him one that's at least higher quality and should work easier for him. Question deciding which one I want to get. I do like the FL Sun Deltas, so I was thinking maybe getting him a Super Racer or a Q5. However, the Q5s appear to be out of stock from the manufacturer for most people. Excuse me. Okay, just making sure I did the cross pieces correctly. And left to right, and right to left. Sorry if I'm not doing as much mnemonics, but figured chatting about stuff would be a little more interesting. Understood. I had my first allergy shots in a month because I was traveling yesterday, and it really knocked me out for the count. I slept a lot most of yesterday evening. Still kind of tired, which is annoying. And the CPAP seems to be less than helpful. But I got another 2 months of running it. Before I can say one way or the other. And the follow-up appointment with the doctor is in late April. Okay. At least I seem to be keeping up okay on this one and not screwing it up. It's nice that Nick's finally got back from Vegas. I can catch his streams on my phone while I'm at work, which makes the day go easier. Congratulations on getting your supplies. Sorry that the post office was screwing up so much. And my apnea is like low to middle range. Hey, Alejandro, nice to meet you. Torin, well, not meet you. I do remember you from previous streams. My actual name is Todd. I'm fine with Torin. I use Torin for my SCA, or Society for Creative Anachronism stuff, and just kind of wound up using it for all my online stuff. But if you want to call me Todd or Torin, either way is fine. If I remember right, you wanted to see how the takadais are set up after this stream. I'm doing a locals exclusive where I'm setting up the takadai. It is behind a paywall, but it's only $2 a month, and I hope to have it all set up this month. So don't know if it's worth it for you or not, but I figured I would mention it. I also apparently need to figure out a way to do a lot of shorts, because that's what YouTube is pushing. So if I want my channel to expand, I gotta figure a way to do that. I did upload a short today from CNC machine at work, where the controller was kind of scrambled. Anytime you touch it, and sometimes even when you don't with a static charge, it scrambles up the display. But you can still use it, and the internal controller is fine. It's just a handheld control display is shot, and that's the only way we can control it. And out to in, 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 and out to in. I also may try and get a Maru-dai top made out of wood this weekend. I got the program done. I just need to actually do the work and get it put together. And out to in, 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 and out to in. Left to right, and right to left. Microphone's in a different position, so I hope everybody can hear me clearly. Okay, well, I suppose it's better than being down, having less than you paid for. Okay, glad to hear the audio is good. I'm just kind of going for speed here at the moment. This stream might be a little on the short side. It depends on my energy level. Still kind of feeling the after effects of the allergy shot. And I admit it is very tempting to just call it a night and go to bed early. But I haven't really had a stream up that's not paywalled since last week. And I figure I need to do some streams for the general public, for YouTube to consider my channel alive. Though as of today, I'm up to 527 subscribers, which is keeping going in the right direction. Though at this rate, it'll probably be a little more than a year before I hit 1,000. I'm hoping that'll be less than what it actually takes. I mean, it'll be less than that to actually get to there. I'm 54 currently, and I would like the channel to be a reasonable success before I get too old to enjoy it. Yeah, I know I'm a little maudlin, but I do miss the potential opportunity of becoming a judge. That would have been nice. Pays relatively decent. The working hours are good. As long as you can deal with the emotional and mental stress of it, it's a reasonable job to have. Just dropping some of the tama here. Yep, that's kind of what I'm hoping for, is that it'll continue to improve. Let me pause for a second here. Okay, just grabbing a cough drop so that I can keep talking when my throat doesn't feel so sore. Got to be careful not to lean too far back because the chair I'm on has a warping peg C-clamp to the back for the next stream. No point in really taking it off and putting it back on. I don't normally lean back that far when I'm doing the Maru-dai anyway. Makes it too hard to reach things. And pull it snug. I did mail in a quote request for making more tama. Haven't heard back on it yet. It's been about a week and a half. I'm kind of afraid to see what the quote is because I'd like to get the unit cost down enough that I can afford to sell them for a much better price, but I'm not sure how many I'm going to have to do to actually get that and what sort of loan I'm going to have to take out for it. Currently, I sell the tama for $8 a piece, and most of that's the cost of the injection molding. If I can get it to a reasonable cost, I'm hoping to maybe reduce the unit price to maybe $6 or $5, which will put me in better competition for those that sell the wood tama. Come on. There we go. But yeah, I asked for a quote for 2, 10, and 20,000 pieces, which would be 1, 5, or 10,000 finished tama. Last time it was about $3 per half piece, or about $6 for finished tama worth of pieces. So 20,000 would be like about a $60,000 run. I'm hoping the unit cost is much less than that. Okay. But my wife is open to the possibility of getting a really large run done, even if we have to pull some extra money out to get it done. Especially if I can make more takadais in the near future. So I've got a market for the tama. And pulling it snug. I've got the room for it. I just don't know if I got the money for it. Excuse me. Though I do need to get my shop cleaned up. Well, I know I can't show anything. I believe I can talk about it. I had the chance to help a friend do a minor repair on his Mac 10. He does have the appropriate tax stamps for it. But he had a part for it where he'd gotten a new upper to go with it. And he was having an issue where one of the parts wasn't fitting, and I was able to mill it enough that it was the right size and shape. That was a fun thing to do. It's been a little while since I used the knee mill. Oh, I did finally get a mostly complete Maru-dai top done on the 3D printer. The only issue was that since I was using ABS, the air temperature, even with an enclosure, was so low that the outer edges weren't bonding properly. But I no longer had any layer shifting or weird stuff like that. So the machine is operating okay. It's just it's too cold for what I'm trying to do. I might be able to get smaller Maru-dai tops done in there, but if I'm doing the large ones, it's probably got to be summer or not at all. So I'm going to be working on the wood ones for a bit. Plus, I need to get the router tweaked up a little bit better so that I can start doing the takadais. I want to have at least 6 done before summer this year. There we go. And if I don't get a move on, that's not going to happen. I also want to get this braid for Ian Runkle done really soon. Up my speed a little bit. Next one I'm hoping to do, whoops, sorry, didn't mean to bump the camera. Next one I'm hoping to do is for Gary Beekler from Nerdrotic, sorry. Partly because I like his content, partly because the eyeglasses logo should be relatively easy to do in a 2-color format, assuming that's what he wants. He's got like a black and yellow logo, so I've got black and yellow silk on hand, ready to do that. The only question is how I can get a hold of him, make sure he's okay with it. But Nick said he was going to try and I keep bumping that camera. I mean, not microphone. Sorry about that. So hopefully Nick can put me in contact with him if he's willing to. He seems to be. But again, I have no obligation on him. So if he can't, it's not a big deal. I'll probably try using a super chat to get his attention. Probably cast one instead of machine it. Yeah, depending on the size of ball bearings, I could see that. I've wanted to get like a carbide or did I already do that? Yes, I did. Don't want to double up on that move. I wanted to get like a set of carbide spheres, tungsten carbide, for being able to dish or dome silver for cloisonne enameling. That would be a fun project to do. I'm not sure how well it would work on camera, but it might be worth a shot. I've got some projects that I should do soon. And I'm finding I'm enjoying streaming a lot more than I expected I would. It helps when I have good company like I do with you folks. But I do have to get in the habit of talking a lot more to myself, so to speak. Or to those invisible internet peoples. Prior to the internet, you would have just been considered crazy. After the internet, oh, they're an influencer. Chrome steel would probably work too, but they're both fairly expensive at the sizes I wanted, like a 2-inch diameter one. Getting a bunch that are only like, maybe an eighth or a 16th or, 3/8 of an inch are a lot less expensive, even just on the material cost. Also, when I used to work in a machine shop in the quality lab, it was fun ordering the high precision spheres for measuring purposes. We'd use them for things like measuring the size of a chamfer. That's really hard to do unless you have a specific, very precise size of a sphere, and you do the math to figure out how high it needs to be up or how deep it needs to be recessed to have the chamfer or cone to be on size. It was fun when I was able to not so much figure out my own, but be guided by one of the other quality lab people as to how to do the equations for that. Of course, these days it's much easier to just load it up in a CAD program and get the measurement yourself rather than do the calculations. But we make computers to make math easier to do. Well, so far, I seem to have been able to do this without a mistake yet tonight. That's a definite improvement on this pattern for me. Just a little quick second, I'll show what's been helping me so much. When I take this one and move it into position, if I jump over the very next thread, it'll then color match the one next to it. So outside to inside here, if I jump over that one, the blue matches. White here, jump over the yellow, the white matches. Take the yellow here, jump over one, matches there. I just have to remember not to take the one next to where I set it down, but actually the one in addition, one more that way. There we go. Black, jump over in black. White in the center, there's nothing to compare to. Blue in the center, nothing to compare to, but all the colors are in pairs again. So. And pull it snug. It's about time to raise up the bag again. Huh. 3 inches a common size. I will have to look into that. That might... A 3-inch sphere would have been fine for the purposes I was planning on doing, so. Alrighty. Let's see how much we've gotten. Okay, so I've done that much since the start of the stream, so doing pretty good. It was mostly not so much the math itself, but the being able to make the math give me a real world useful application. Okay. Out to in, 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 and out to in. Left to right, and right to left. And pull it snug. Send it up a little bit. And out to in, 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 and out to in. Left to right, and right to left. Pull it snug. Drop a couple of them here. Well, my takadai streams definitely seem to be more popular than the Maru-dai streams. But I figure if I can get several different Maru-dai braids up and running on different Maru-dai, I can rotate through and make it more interesting for people to stop in regularly and see how they're progressing, rather than the same one over and over again. And out to in, 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 and out to in. Left to right, and right to left. And out to in, 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 and out to in. Left to right, right to left, and pull it snug. And I got some tama to drop. I can see that. Definitely makes sense to me. Yeah, 50 to 100 is definitely a bearing race type steel. So I can see some bearings, and I know when I did look into it as well, a lot of ball bearings were that steel as well. 5160, you could probably actually buy the steel cheaper than buying ball bearings and stuff like that, unless you need the shape for some reason. One thing I did enjoy is when a lot of businesses, industrial types, started putting their inventory and ordering online. It made it much easier to get stuff like that. But I can remember like trying to find companies, getting them to send me their catalogs. So I am a little disappointed that the closest steel supplier to me wound up either going out of business or whatever about 7 years back. They were a really good source for me to pick up lead loy for making tama cores. Though since I've started considering doing it as a business, rather than just supplying friends and whatnot, I've started using just plain like 1018 steel for the cores, because I don't want to have to deal with issues of selling lead bearing material to places like the EU or Canada or Mexico or even a lot of places in the US. Sorry if I'm rambling a lot tonight. Like I said, I'm a little tired, somewhat distracted. disappointed about my pipe dream of being a judge. But you got to make do with what is as opposed to what you want. I think you might have missed a comma there, because the no rambling is good is a bit different than no rambling is good. But I think I know what you meant. So since I had the last takadai setup stream die because I accidentally unplugged the camera, I'm going to try doing it on OBS this time. See if I do have an issue, I might be able to recover easier. Well, I signed up for my first convention since probably 2007 or 2008. Had a very bad experience trying to go to a convention called Icon. Supposed to do a presentation for a mistaken Mythbusters myth, and I was treated somewhat horribly by the staff there. The thing never happened the way they presented it as to me, so I essentially wasted a lot of time and effort to attend a convention where I got ignored when I was supposed to be part of a presentation, and just sat around and felt horribly embarrassed for a while. It also didn't help that the Mythbusters thing we were supposed to deal with, 3 days before the convention, they came out with a follow-up one where they changed what it was that they said the myth was, to something entirely ridiculous, and said that the myth was busted, despite the fact that what they originally said was an entirely reasonable thing about how if you're steel, you get too brittle of steel in a hammer face and you hammer on something hard, you can get chips of metal coming off of it. And they changed that to hitting something hard, it'll explode. And I'd done things like setting up a time-lapse camera with an automated hammer on a motor thing to see if I can't capture some of the steel chipping off. And I hardened some steel using some really ridiculously high carbon steel using super quench. And I was able to get steel that would actually, just dropping it on an anvil, it broke. So it would have been a nice presentation, but I just stood around there with my finger up my butt and was very unhappy with that. But anyway, and I just got distracted here. Let me fix that. That's what I get for ranting while I'm braiding. Okay, there we go. But the convention I'm going to be going to is a literary convention for science fiction and fantasy authors. And Larry Correa is going to be a guest of honor there. So I'm hoping that that will be a much more pleasant experience for me. My wife is going with me, though she's not going to attend the convention. So when I'm not at the convention, it's a nice, relaxing getaway with my wife, which will be nice. Hey, Randy, nice to see you on. Let me catch up on the chat real quick. I'm getting over the last tail bit of COVID. I've been pretty much okay for about a week, except for a residual cough and sore throat. So I've got cough drops, and I realize my voice is not that great. Sorry about that. But I've been reasonably healthy. My temperature has been completely normal for about almost a week and a half. So um, a little run down now because I had my allergy shots yesterday and hadn't had them for about a month because I was traveling. So as a result, I was kind of knocked on my rear and really tired. Wound up sleeping almost all of yesterday evening, which was annoying, but it is what it is, and I like not having horrible hay fever, so I will deal. Okay. Yeah, I like Brad Torgerson and Mike Coopery too. I've been a follower of Larry online for probably since 2011 or so when I read one of his essays. Found out he was a science fiction and fantasy author and started reading his work and really enjoyed it. So I'll pretty much read anything that he puts out. There have been very few things that I haven't been all that enjoyed with. I did like his first two Tom Strangers, but I never really finished listening to the third one. But I'm really enjoying his most recent Lost Planet Homicide. It'll be interesting to see how that goes for the next couple of years until it comes out as a completed novel. But getting it as a serialized thing kind of fits with the gritty cop show theme that they were going with in that series. Okay, nice to hear that, Randy. Uh, I've got a partial, I got a nose and partial face one. I got to be careful with it because if I'm not careful and I let my mouth get open, I wake up and my cheeks are all puffed out and my mouth dries out a lot. But I'm also not really getting a lot of benefit from what I can tell. I still wake up really tired, and I wake up a lot of times through the night with the mask going on. So I don't know if it's a net positive or not. But I'll keep with it at least the 3 months until I see the follow-up visit with the doctor. So hopefully that'll either work out positively or lead us to a better diagnosis and treatment plan. Because I'm really tired of being tired. But I'm definitely glad to hear that your husband was able to find one that worked well for him. Yeah, I'll definitely talk to my sleep doctor about it. I'm also have been trying on and off using a essentially a chin strap to hold my mouth closed, and I've had mixed success with that. It does seem to work for keeping my mouth closed, but it keeps waking me up because it it rests on my beard, which is irritating to me. And most of the time, I've worn it right before I get up. I wind up tearing it off my head because I can't stand it anymore. But I don't want to shave my beard because my wife likes it. But being a lifelong hay fever sufferer, have developed the habit of when I'm asleep, sleeping with my mouth open, which doesn't work if you're just using the nasal pads only, which is why I did the partial face mask one. Also turns out that my sister is also working on a diagnosis for narcolepsy. She used a CPAP for a year and had no benefit from it. So, given that narcolepsy runs in families, I'm wondering if that might be uh, a more um, likely diagnosis for me rather than just sleep apnea being the primary cause of my issues. Especially since I'm at the moderate to low range of sleep apnea incidences. And if I can lose like another 30 to 40 pounds, my sleep apnea might actually mostly go away. It did for my wife. Okay, it's getting close to time where I'm going to need to wrap it up so that I can get ready for the takadai setup stream. Was there anything that anybody wanted me to cover before I wrap it up? There we go. And pull that snug. Have a good evening, Bane. Stay safe and hope you feel better soon. Okay. Alrighty, we'll do one more here and pull the bag up and see where I'm at lengthwise. Nice to have you on again, Randy. And there we go. Let's see. That was our starting point. So, not bad. About just under 50 minutes and got that much done. I'm rather pleased with that. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening. And for those that are supporters on locals for me, I will be active with that stream probably within about 10 minutes. Thanks again. Stay safe and happy braiding.